Ukrainian defenders from the State Border Guard Service have repelled another offensive attempt by Russian invaders in the Donetsk region's Bakhmut. The relevant statement was made by the Ukrainian State Border Guard Service on Telegram, having posted a corresponding video, and Ukrinform correspondent reports. The enemy's forces were prevailing. 6 border guard officers from the Luhansk detachment had been holding positions and repelling Russian attacks over 3 hours. In view of the risk of complete encirclement, a fire support group came as reinforcements. Thanks to the skillful use of grenade launchers and small arms, the occupiers' attack was repelled, and those injured were evacuated to a safer area, the Ukrainian State Border Guard Service noted. A reminder that Russian invaders switched to the Syrian scorched earth tactics in the Donetsk region's Bakhmut. The Ukrainian military continue holding defense.
President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Saturday that Poland would provide Ukraine with 200 Rosomak armored vehicles. Half of the Polish vehicles will arrive in Ukraine in the nearest future. Ukraine also expects Poland to soon deliver MiG-29 fighter jets, self-propelled mortars, and additional missiles, Volodymyr Zelensky said in his evening speech on April 8, the Kyiv Independent reported. According to the Kyiv Independent, the Ukrainian president's announcement comes days after Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki said that Ukraine ordered 100 Rosomaks from Poland. Polish news agencies reported on April 1, citing Morawiecki, that the infantry vehicles would be paid for with European money but also with American money that has been given to Ukraine. Other details were not disclosed. The Rosomak armored personnel carrier is the Polish license production version of the Finnish Patria advanced modular vehicle, manufactured by Rosomak SA. 690 APCs were ordered by the Polish Ministry of Defense in 2002 to modernize the fleet of the Polish Army. This number increased to 1,000 units in 2013. The base version, IFV, has the Italian OTO Molara Hitfist 30P turret. It has an ATK Mk44 Bushmaster 230mm autocannon, a 7.62 by 51mm UKM 2000C machine gun, a fire control system with thermographic sight, and an OBRA laser warning system. The Rosomak M2 and M3 APCs have a 40mm OSSD open turret with a 40mm Mk19 grenade launcher or a 12.7mm NSW/WKMB heavy machine gun. That there are 2 types of Rosomak vehicles for Ukraine, as well as the fact that the long-awaited first Polish Rosomak helped defend Ukraine. We also wrote that Ukraine and Poland jointly established the Rosomak Technical Center. The XC360P Rosomak, Wolverine, armored personnel carrier is a Polish version of the Finnish AMV Patria. This APC is built locally in Poland, but the most important components come from Finland. Polish company Wojsko Zakłady Mechanics has the rights to manufacture and market the vehicle to the Polish Ministry of Defense and foreign customers until 2023. Rosomak was ordered by the Polish Ministry of Defense in 2002 to modernize the fleet of the Polish Army. Rosomak replaced the aging SKOD 8x8 armored personnel carrier and BWP-1 tracked infantry fighting vehicle. The Polish Ministry of Defense ordered a total of 690 vehicles. This includes 377 armored personnel carriers and 313 wheeled and armored infantry fighting vehicles. Rosomak has seen service with the Polish Army during the wars in Iraq, Afghanistan, and during peacekeeping missions in Chad and the Central African Republic. During this international deployment, Rosomak proved itself well. It should be noted that the American soldiers called the Polish Rosomak superior in every aspect to their striker. The Patria AMV is one of the most protected 8x8 armored personnel carriers. But it's also one of the biggest APCs. Polish Rosomaks are equipped with modular ballistic protection. The armor consists of interchangeable modules of various thicknesses and can be adapted to the needs of the mission. Heavy armor was removed during peacetime and for transportation. However, it was restored once the vehicle arrived at the battle theater. Maximum degree of protection against 30mm armor-piercing bullets. The vehicle also has high-end mine protection. It can withstand a TNT blast of up to 10 kilograms. There have been many instances when the Rosomaks of the Polish Army were hit by landmines and improvised explosive devices in Afghanistan. In most cases, there were no fatalities. 2 Polish Army armored vehicles were hit in Afghanistan by RPG-7 rockets, but the armor was impenetrable and the vehicles made it back to base. Other sources report that there are more examples of Rosomaks surviving RPG-7 attacks. Cage guards can be fitted for a higher level of protection against RPG-7 rockets. The basic version of the APC has a crew of 2 and carries 10 troops. It has a roof-mounted armored gun mount for a 12.7mm machine gun or 40mm automatic grenade launcher. The IFV version is equipped with the Italian OTO Molara Hitfist 30P turret. The turret is operated by the commander and gunner. It was armed with a 30mm Bushmaster 2 cannon and a coaxial 7.62mm machine gun. This version has a crew of 3 and carries 8 troops. The Rosomak is powered by the Scania Di12 turbocharged diesel engine. Engine is mated to ZF automatic transmission with 7 forward and 1 reverse speeds. Vehicle is fitted with a central tire inflation system. The baseline Polish Army Rosomak is fully amphibious, both APC and wheeled IFV versions. On water, these vehicles are propelled by 2 water jets.
Welcome, Ukraine War Today. A Russian missile struck a house in the Ukrainian city of Zaporizhzhia, killing a 50-year-old man and his 11-year-old daughter, officials reported on Sunday. The enemy carried out a missile attack on Zaporizhzhia and killed another Ukrainian family, the head of the state emergency service, Sergei Kruk, wrote on social media. The girl's 46-year-old mother was pulled alive out of the rubble. Another elder daughter was not at home at the time of the attack. Head of the Zaporizhzhia City Council, Anatoly Kurtiev, said that 2 Russian missiles hit the building, damaging other houses nearby too. Zaporizhzhia is close to the front line between Russian and Ukrainian forces. The Zaporizhzhia province is one of 4 that Russia claimed to have annexed last year, although it does not control the provinces in their entirety. According to a March 20 toll from the UN's Human Rights Commissioner, at least 8,317 civilians had been killed as a result of Russia's invasion of Ukraine since last February. However, the real number of civilians killed is likely much higher. Ukrainian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ola Nikolenko has accused the Vatican of drawing an equivalence between Ukraine and Russia. At the 10th station of the Way of the Cross procession in Rome, 2 young people from Ukraine and Russia jointly appealed for peace. The Ukrainian boy came from the Russian-annexed southeastern city of Mariupol, while the Russian boy said his older brother had died in the war. The spokesperson's comments also come after Pope Francis made an address in which he urged God to shed the light of Easter on the people of Russia. Unfortunately, we have to say that this year's procession was again overshadowed by an attempt to equate victims and aggressors, Nikolenko declared. The joint participation of a Ukrainian and a Russian in the procession distorts the reality that Russia has plunged Ukrainians into by committing a genocide against them, he argued. The spokesperson argued that drawing an equivalence between Ukraine and Russia brings about suffering and does nothing to contribute to reconciliation. We are disappointed that the Holy See did not take into account the arguments of the Ukrainian side about the offensive nature of such a gesture, he said. Last year, he have also criticized a joint appeal by a Ukrainian and Russian at the Way of the Cross procession. Ukrainian officials wished a happy Easter to those Ukrainians who were celebrating the holiday on Sunday. A growing number have turned away from the Julian calendar used by the Russian Orthodox Church, according to which Easter would take place next week. The full-scale Russian invasion last year has led many Ukrainian Christians to seek a break with their Orthodox neighbors and look to their Western supporters. Though eyes are currently on eastern Ukraine's city of Bakhmut, where Russia has been battling for control for some 6 months, Mike Martin, a senior fellow in war studies at King's College London, expects the next breakthrough of the war to be elsewhere. The Russians are going to try and cut the supply lines, and that may necessitate a Ukrainian withdrawal, but if the Ukrainians can hold that supply line, then they'll hold Bakhmut, Martin said. He speculated that Ukrainian forces are only interested in holding on to Bakhmut to tie the Russians up. Martin said he expected breakthroughs in the war to be elsewhere, listing the southeastern town of Zaporizhzhia as a potential breakthrough. Martin said that the Russians' progress in Bakhmut has been slow and at a great cost, though he speculated that Russian forces would be able to take it. They're being very, very incompetent.